Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about windshield chip repair. And we're going to actually repair an unfortunate chip that I got in this windshield yesterday. The first step when you get a chip is to try and protect it as soon as possible. So I have a little supply of these stickers from one of the parking lot guys. I think it's a good idea to put a sticker over the chip as soon as possible. It helps prevent contamination from getting in the glass. It does help stabilize it a little bit, especially if it happens on a day where you might have to be using the windshield washer. You're not going to be putting fluid in there and then potentially freezing it. The thing that causes cracks is expansion and contraction of air, or God forbid water or something in the crack itself. So if you do this, it gives you a better chance of getting the vehicle somewhere or getting it to the point where you can repair the chip without it turning into a disaster. So if you don't have these round glass stickers, a piece of Scotch tape also works fine. And before you peel it, I think it's a good idea, spray down the area with some good glass cleaner and then give it a good wipe down, because you want to get a good clean surface for you to stick the bridge injector to. You don't want to have a greasy film on the surface of your windshield, and you're going to try to avoid getting a bunch of glass cleaner in the chip itself. Okay, so then we'll peel that off just like that, throw that away. And even though you don't want to get crap in there, I like to just put a little cleaner on the rag and try to gently clean up the area around the chip that was under the tape or sticker. And then I'll wipe it with the whole area with the dry side. Each chip is its own little adventure. They all seal up a little bit differently. They're virtually never going to seal up in a way that makes it look like it never happened. But the point is to stabilize the glass so that you don't get a crack. And you're trying to get it to look as clear as possible. Now, with one like this, I can see, get yourself a good light so you can get a good look at it. I'm going to get my dental pick in here and just pick away at this a little bit, see what we're dealing with. And it looks like, in this case, I've got a pretty good penetration into the actual glass. Now, these kits come with drills, and you're meant to drill the windshield. But if you can avoid drilling it, you get a cleaner repair. The drill hole is always visible. I don't care what anybody says, it always ends up being visible. We're going to pick away at this a little bit, get the loose glass out, and try to get a feel for whether we could repair this without drilling it or not. You should look from the inside to try to get an understanding of how it's penetrated. Because, like I said, at this point, what you're trying to decide is whether you should drill this or just put the injector on it. Take your time. The glass shop guy isn't going to take his time. This is an area where you got a chance to be better than the glass shop guy. Okay, well, I have a fairly deep surface penetration here. So I think I'm going to try this without drilling it. I'm going to try to just inject it. And if that works, then I'll get a cleaner install. The next thing is we're going to take our bridge injector here. And we're going to set this up on it. And what you want to do is set it up so that your that your injector head is right over the hole. So that's on there. Now before you finish setting that up, go in the cab, and check that you have it centered, which I don't. So I'm going to move that just a little bit. I'm going to try and give you a little bit closer look at it. So here we've got the bridge injector set up. We snugged it down with the suction cup. We snugged the actual injector down to the glass here. Then we used this to tighten it up. And then if we go inside the vehicle and take a little look, what we've got is we've got that injection surface right over the hole. If we drilled a hole, that's where you put it, or over the penetration on the glass. Okay. So now we're ready to start putting resin in. So I like to keep a clean piece of shop towel handy to wipe up any spills. I'm going to keep our microfiber cover handy. I'm going to pop our injector out. I'm going to take the thin resin, which is actually to fill the crack, and I'm going to put like 8 or 10 drops into the injector here. I'll set that stuff aside. Then I'm going to put the injector in. And get it started. Then I cover the area so as to not start curing the resin any sooner than I need to. And I'll go inside and take a look at what we're doing. I'm going to turn this down until I start to feel some pressure there. Then you're going to go back and forth a little bit, which helps draw air out of the crack. You get a look inside. I can see from the inside it's already starting to look pretty good. So we might have made a good choice by not drilling it. Squeeze a little harder. I'm going to take my barbecue lighter and I'm just gently applying a little heat. So don't go crazy with that. I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure. And I can see it starting to fill the one crack. Around that crack. That's about as much heat as you should apply to it. Like I said, don't go crazy. Just kind of wave it under there. Tiny bit more pressure. Here's a quick look inside, and I think you can see there's a tiny little bit on the edge there that it doesn't seem to be filling in, but for the most part it's filled that area in, so that's good. We're just going to leave that sit for a little bit. Okay, we got about 10 minutes on that and it looks like it's filled in pretty good from inside, so it's time to remove the injector bridge. So I'm going to take our shop towel off, or our microfiber towel off. And when you do this, don't back the injector off, just release the suction cup and lift the whole thing off. Because what you're trying to avoid here is actually drawing the resin back out of the crack. So we're going to do this. There's a little pressure release. We'll lift off the injector and we'll give this a little wipe. Okay. Now I'll put this down somewhere clean. We're going to take our thick pit sealer here, thick resin, and we're going to put a couple of dabs on there. And we're going to put our plastic square over there. Put the cap back on your resin as soon as you can to avoid spoiling it. Ultraviolet lamp, and we're going to put it on the windshield over the crack, over the repair, and we're going to set our stopwatch. We're going to leave that for 15 minutes or so. So at this stage, we've got all the resin injected, we've got a pit sealer on there, and we've got a little plastic square on there, and we've got our UV light on there. Take you around, give you a look inside the cab. You can see the plastic square. Let's see if I can zoom up a little bit. You can see the plastic square. You can see there's still a mark, but actually it looks like it's got resin in most of it. So hopefully we're going to get a good repair out of that. Now if you think you have a good repair, you're ready to start putting your tools away. Take the injector, the piston, out of there. Give those O-rings a little wipe and the end a little wipe. Then you can give the injector a little wipe. And then what I always do, right or wrong, and you can tell me in the comments below if this is a bad idea or not, I pour just a little bit of paint thinner through there so that I don't end up with a gummy resin inside. Give it a little blow. Wipe it up. I leave that to dry, and then I take the injector head and just kind of run it through the paint thinner like that, and then dab it off. Leave that to dry. Okay, that's been on there 18 minutes or something while I monkeyed around with some other stuff. Shut the light off so we don't run the battery down in the box. Put that away. And we'll get up here and we'll peel our strip. Then we'll use our razor blade at an oblique angle across the face of the repair. We can throw that stuff away. And we'll run our finger over it. We can feel it smooth. And it's mostly filled in. And we'll take a clean piece of shop towel and some glass cleaner over the area. Clean that all up. Is this invisible? No. Is it smooth? Yes. Is it likely to save the windshield? Pretty good chance, I'd say. We'll take a quick look on the inside. Now this was a very, very noticeable chip from the inside, driving it. I can see it here, right there. It's hard to pick up on the camera. So there it is. It's visible. The vast majority of it is full of resin, and it's smooth on the outside, so it's sealed from the outside. Like I said, there's a pretty good chance that that's going to save the windshield. And if I take away the microfiber and I take away the close-up focus, boy, it's hard to see. So I would say that's a pretty reasonable repair, and that's a do-it-yourself and costs a couple bucks per time if you use the kit enough. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on future videos.